Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Saturday, July 13th, 2024. I hope you are doing well. You're having a great weekend so far. Hope you did something fun. It's probably the coolest days of the week ahead between today and tomorrow. Well, actually, I think tomorrow is about to heat up. I think it was maybe yesterday and today. At least where I am is going back up to the 90s with the heat advisory. So I hope you, and still, I went out today and it wasn't as hot as it typically is, but it was still humid. So this summer is just aggressive. Oh man. Which means that we might possibly see a fairly warm fall as well. Now that I wouldn't be mad at. Not at all. I love an Indian summer, as I guess they call it. But let's see. Page of Wands. This one came up first the other day, and I think a few days even before that. It was early in the spread. Page of Wands is new, exploring new territories, some type of new. Wow. Okay, Six of Wands. Let's just go for it here. Six of Wands. Maybe victory coming out of despair into some new, into a place of new discovery. Breaking out of poverty, or it could be poverty, but what is that? Like coming out from the Six of Wands. And then we got the Two of Cups here. Toxic connections. Trauma bonds. Ooh. That's what I'm getting with these two here. This Two of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Triumph out of trauma bonds. Interesting. And here is the fresh start here with the Page of Wands, with new energy, a new enthusiasm for life, ready to explore, maybe single, ready to mingle. So maybe you had a breakup recently, or you have had some closure on a previous connection that has you feeling invigorated in a new way. Maybe some new information has come to light about that connection. Perhaps you dodged a bullet, or it could have been something that you may have mourned at one point in time, and now in hindsight, or just from where you stand now, you're seeing that you're better off. You're better off. And that perhaps it wasn't really something about these two here that's really standing out, like what a connection appeared to be, or maybe even what it was, maybe at one time, where two people are on the same page, ultimately didn't fare out well. Like the Five of Pentacles is like struggle love. So yeah, like I said, like you dodged a bullet where you thought you may have thought it had the potential or the projection to be this Two of Cups, but ultimately it either was or would have been or would have become Five of Pentacles. And yeah, you dodged a bullet. Six of Wands. And you're on to discover some new experience that is fresh and exciting, maybe open to love. I'm not really seeing that just yet, but it could be, you know, especially I feel like this Page of Wands is someone that's just open, you know, that's kind of, I like to say, like wide-eyed, enthusiastic, has a positive outlook, not particularly projective of anything, but open to explore. That's what I'm getting here. Kind of letting life lead you to some extent. Like if you happen to stumble upon a new friendship, cool, and it's a positive exchange, great. If you happen to stumble upon a new job or a new relationship or a new hobby, a new talent, a new pastime, you know, like whatever it is, it just feels like somebody that's just open to kind of, there was a influencer, her name was, what was her name? Rory Ray, I believe, that I used to follow a long time ago. She was kind of like a relationship influencer and coach. And she used to have this saying, particularly, what do you call it? Counseling women to flirt with life. You know, like that is ultimately what really enhances your attractiveness, when you're not fixated on what another man is doing and what they're not doing for you, and you know, all the negative aspects and voids and deficiencies that you can point out. But wherever it is you find those voids, you fill them for yourself. And that was for people in relationships and those that were looking to attract love a certain type of healthy way. And she used this, that term just came to mind with the Page of Wands, like having this flirtation with life where everything is alluring, everything is arousing, you know, like you just go into the store and you get dressed. She didn't necessarily say all these things, but this is my interpretation. Like you just go into the store, but you get dressed like, you know, for yourself, you know, you get dressed in the way that makes you feel good. You know, all the way to the store, you are enjoying your favorite music and enjoying the sights and taking your time. And, you know, it's kind of a primitive expression of it, but basically what it comes down to holistically is finding the joy and the bliss in life all along the way, through the big things, the small things, but just being engaged in your experience to almost like command bliss from every moment. You know, that's what that just gave me just now. And I haven't thought about her in a long time, but she used to have some really good points considerably for women about how to, her saying used to be like, have the relationship you want, or something like that. It was something along those lines to help you kind of shift your energy to be more of an attraction and more of a magnet for the experience of life and love that you want, and not to be so like dogmatic and you know, more or less it was basically coaching women on how to be more in your feminine force and really take ownership of that, as opposed to being more masculine, aggressive, and so forth, so on and so forth. But anyway, so I see like that is where that's where someone may be headed, in that direction with the Six of Wands, like not sitting home crying about what didn't work out. Like, as a matter of fact, seeing everything in your favor and being excited about whatever life has to offer at this point. Like, no regrets, no remorse, and no retractions. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's see what else we got. I think that was the Nine of Cups. Oh, goodness. I'm going to just take this one on top. The Five of Wands. Nose itching like crazy. I'm going to put this up. Maybe I might be able to get a few extra cards on the deck. Let me just look and see. The Hierophant and the Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. This is that attractive energy here with the Nine of Pentacles. This actually is like the type of, if you are single and ready to mingle, so to speak, or just happily single, whatever the case may be, but still open to partnership. This is what these two cards are given, quite specifically. This is the best energy to be in. Secure, feeling highly esteemed. This is that flirtation with life that I'm talking about, where this is where it begins to attract all of this beauty to you, like you don't have to go very far to experience it. At some point it starts to just kind of magnetize to your path by way of what you're cultivating on the inside. Self-sufficient, secure, stable, feeling good about what you've accomplished already, highly content, not complacent, but content, and also open for enhancements and advancements. Beautiful energy. And then the Hierophant is here, like almost what is that? It's because what I'm seeing here with the Five of Swords is almost like the competition to want to get to an energy. That's kind of what you what you begin to attract when you're in that frequency. It's like people, of whatever particular energy you're attracted to and attracting, which in this case, let's say feminine attracting masculine energy. You may go from having no suitors, no prospects, to people just kind of like fighting, stumbling over their feet or fighting each other to kind of just be in your presence or just to engage you. That was another thing. This is interesting that's coming up this way. That's another thing that would kind of come up in her teachings, was how like you find yourself magnetizing energies to you in a way that may or may not even be with the intention of intimacy, but it's like men want to hold the door. They want to, help you with your things or your bags or whatever. Like they want to, they want to serve you to an extent, and it's not because you're projecting this arrogance or even like this pheromone of entitlement for this return or this I don't know what the right word is, but you're not attracting it as a projection of arrogance or entitlement, like this is what you should be doing because I'm a lady, in the words of Shanae. But it's just something about how you're treating yourself, that ends up transferring as a pheromone, almost like excreting, or that's probably a bad word to use, but like, um, kind of like, I guess emitting from your energetic pores, so to speak. So like I said, like you may come across men that just kind of want to fall, like throw the puddle, their jacket over the puddle just so you can be taken care of. So imagine if that's the energy you're attracting from perfect strangers that just see a lady and want to treat a lady as a lady. Certainly if there is any intimate connection or even any potential of such growing, that type of frequency is kind of how you keep it fresh, and you allow. She used to talk about this like rubber band effect, where a rubber band between two people, kind of like this in a sense, but not so much because it's more contracted in this case with the Two of Cups. But she talks about there always kind of being a tension that needs to be maintained for the natural order of masculine and feminine energy, where the feminine is kind of sitting back in receptive mode and the masculine energy is always wanting to be in pursuit, or in a chase, sort of, more or less. And even when you're in relationship for years and years and years, because she would coach all types of people that were just starting out, had no love, had new love, and those that, the fire is kind of like fizzling a bit and you want to respark it. She talks about how, the feminine should be sitting back in her receptive force in a posture to receive, not in a command or demand, but just in expectation, softly, more or less, to receive, because that's just the order of nature. And the masculine ultimately is almost conditioned to want to cater to a feminine who is comfortable in that frequency, where it is that there's a contraction in that rubber band effect, and the feminine is always like, what can I do for you? How can I, or always in demand mode, or well, you're not doing this, or I want to go out and you're not. It's like when you go into that mode of, aggression toward most masculine energies, because sometimes the roles can be reversed, of course, but generally speaking, that's what causes that rubber band to contract, where he no longer has a distance or a pursuit to make. He no longer has a trek to make toward you, because you're just always right up in his face, begging and barking and and demanding and commanding. It's like if you would want to go on more dates, or be more, if you're feeling like something you're missing is like more romantic attention and more like doting to some degree, then you don't necessarily command that or demand that from him. You give it to yourself. You take yourself out. You find ways to pamper yourself. You, honey, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And then eventually it kind of will be like, well, damn, what's she doing over there? Or, you know, the time that you're spending giving to yourself, filling that void, not in a malicious or antagonistic way, like just genuinely giving yourself what you feel you need. The more the masculine energy is kind of provoked to want to serve that purpose for you, because that's how they're made up, you know, more or less, even when they don't realize it, you know. So anyway, I feel like this Five of Wands kind of led me to that idea of like maybe men in the street seeing you, you know, experiencing you in that essence of divine femininity and just wanting to respond accordingly, valiantly even to some degree. But it could also be literally suitors with the Hierophant here, of those that see you as, you know, a highly a high quality partner, and may be incited to, you know, maybe not literally fighting in the streets, but wanting to kind of solidify a position of interest for you, toward you, because they figure like, you know, a potential such as this, there's got to be other people that see what I see and maybe want what I want, you know. So I don't know, something about that here, but it comes on account again of you just living your life, you know, not looking for anything in particular except for joy and pure passion, looking to be aroused, you know, but not in a perverted way per se. Interesting. I probably could have kept that, but I won't. I'll keep going. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that in the middle so it don't come up. Oh, what's on the bottom real quick? Justice. Yeah, like this is that cause and effect, equal give and take of exactly what I'm saying. You establishing what's it called, like a standard, and that being answered fairly, you know, like that being what ultimately is, what am I trying to say? Like, you establish the standard, and that is what is reciprocated, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying this right now. Honored. Thank you, Spirit. My God. Honored, which definitely goes with the Justice card as well. Yeah. Interesting. All right, let's see what else. Your honor. Look at that. Having a good time, enjoying yourself. You maybe out with the girls and out with friends. Like I said, just enjoying life. That's a confirmation here. Pure passion, yet again. What did I just say? Like, allowing yourself to be aroused, doing all the things that you want to do. And if you are in a relationship, it doesn't mean out of respect for your partner or even honor for your partner, but it does mean that you don't have to wait on anybody to do for you what you could do for yourself. And as I've said, when you may find that when you activate that ambition, that you ultimately attract what you really want, you know, or maybe even more than what you want. With the Ace of Wands, they might want to be up under you all the time because you're having such a good time in life. Like, well, well, where are we going next? Where you want to go to next? Like, it's like, can I get a me day? Perhaps. No, I'm just joking. But I'm just saying, like, it might, that's the thing. It's like, we have been conditioned poorly, most of us, to do the very opposite of what I'm talking about. Feminine energy, females, women have been conditioned poorly most times, in the capacity of gaining what we want. We've been conditioned to do the opposite for it, by circumstance, by, the shift in culture as it is, and fear mongering, more or less, that if you don't get aggressive, if you don't take it, or grab the bull by the horns, then you may actually miss out, or shortchange yourself or something like that. But actually, it's the opposite of everything that most of us have been taught. And and it may not even be like familially, like you grew up seeing your mom a certain way, or you were specifically coached to be a certain way as a woman. I'm talking about just collectively the imbalance of the feminine and masculine energy right now that is coming back into balance, let me certainly say. But it's because the feminine force is learning how to be comfortable again where she innately thrives, not trying to overcompensate for what she may fear to miss or lose or miss out on, or be shortchanged or gypped out of. I don't think gypped is a nice word, but forgive me if it's not. But yeah, like, so this is like arousal at its, like, he's there, and not just particularly for, a sexual encounter, but it's like your arousal with life and with yourself ultimately, more or less, gets his blood flowing in all the right ways as well, whether it be to be activated to want to join you, to want to serve you, to want to experience with you, to want to cater to you, to want to protect you, all of that. And of course, to want to love you down. So yeah, I don't know. This could be talking about putting the spark back into a partnership that has kind of died down. Maybe that is what I was speaking of more so than how I started, but it could also be kind of leaving behind, like I said, those imbalances that clearly don't work. Here is the contracted force here. Like, you can still have intimacy within that tension of that rubber band effect. And when you find that there's contraction, and it's like, that contraction looks like ultimately there's starting to be deficiencies or voids in what you desire to have in that connection. It doesn't mean that you can't be close or you can't spend a lot of time with each other, but it's even about what that time, how fulfilling that time actually is. So you, as the feminine force, are the one that is more or less, authorized to create that tension, or when you may even feel that tension happening on the other side from the masculine energy, you don't retract back into it to try to figure out what's going on, what's happening, why aren't we spending as much time, why are you on your phone, why like, all that naggy type stuff. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to go, if it's entertainment, if it's attention, and I don't mean in a negative way, but if there's something that I need that I'm not getting, I'm not going to force the issue. I'm going to go find the solution. And that creates that balanced effect again, for there to be an open space for true intimacy, So yeah, interesting. That means having moments to to go out with the girls when it comes up. Not like, oh, well, I can't, y'all. I gotta get home to my man. You know, it's like, yeah, you'll be all right for a night. You know, go have yourself a good dinner and a cocktail or whatever the case may be. Go see a movie. Hell, go see a movie by yourself. If you know, of course, I'm no relationship coach, but I'm just speaking off of what I gleaned from her teaching, which I thought was it made sense to me. It seemed valuable to me. So if that is resonating enough for you in a season where you may not be having the most, you know, exuberant relationship experience or the one of your dreams, the relationship you want, you know, then maybe these little tips can help. Or if you're looking for something that's in that vein, you know, not codependent, not counterproductive, not toxic, now is the time to really be cultivating that vibration in this moment, even as you're single, so that all that attracts to you is that. You don't have to do too much sifting or, you know, too much considering, because you'll be a vibrational match for what you actually want. Well, that was a bit of a struggle, but it's interesting that it's right up under the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is just like a drag. Like, nobody wants to be in a struggle love situation, not voluntarily. You know, like, and of course there are some instances where it can't necessarily be fixed by the coaching, and like some things just aren't supposed to be, you know, and you have to know that as well and get on with your life for sure. But you know, there are some ways, particularly if something feels like it's worth saving and shifting for, that you can start with yourself. So in this case, if this is you at the Five of Cups, then it's no wonder that the relationship is at the Five of Pentacles. That's not manifesting anything but more sadness, more bitterness. This is despair, you know, guilt, shame, maybe some insecurity here, all wrapped up into this. And it's like, if you're in a frequency like that, in or out of a relationship, you kind of have to drop everything and take care of yourself. You certainly shouldn't be open and available for connection of any sort in that vibration, because it's only going to yield as much as you're able to invest. And perhaps, you know, many of us have kind of figured that out the hard way, or we took the scenic route to that understanding before we may have been awakened to the things that we needed to heal and secure within ourselves, before we could be available for connection, before we could be, you know, in a position to even be a productive partner, you know. So there's nothing wrong with the experiences that we've had that maybe have turned out to be unfavorable, but the present position, particularly of your emotional wellness, your mental health even, is paramount. It's paramount. Nobody should be in a relationship in the Five of Cups energy, or even looking for a relationship. All you're going to do is project that energy onto someone else, deprive them of the love that they more or less deserve, certainly deprive them of the best of you under the best circumstances. Yeah, and like I said, it's no wonder that it would materialize as a Five of Pentacles, because it couldn't be anymore. It couldn't be anymore. Yeah. Gotta rebalance and refocus. Manage your own well-being first. So it's like you couldn't pull, well, I mean, you could try to do whatever it is that you want to do for sure, but it definitely would be more of an upheaval to take the little notes and, the little things I'm saying about creating a tension and all that type of stuff in a frequency like this. This is not that. Like, here's even the rubber band, right? The tension, this is like, nah, you need to figure out where you may have tension first and settle that, and then you might be in a good position to exchange love or even friendship at this point. Like, imagine. But no, seriously, mental health is definitely paramount. Emotional well-being, for sure. And somebody, I don't know, like somebody depressed about lack of finances with the Two of Pentacles, loss of time. Yeah, that could even be on account of unresolved past baggage, a relationship that you're not even in anymore, but still carrying that energy forward, internally, energetically. Yeah, you definitely want to find some peace and balance with that to release as much of it as possible, if that's the case. For that fresh start here with the Page of Wands, reinvigorating yourself in life before you start to partner up, if that resonates for anyone. Or if you may be on the on the consideration of the other considering end of such a proposition or proposal, of someone that may have some emotional challenges. You can't love someone out of that. You can be as supportive as you have liberty to be so, or as supportive as you choose to be within your own comfortable boundaries. But if you see the signs of someone that's in some type of depression or still is carrying baggage, resentment, discontentment from the past situation, you can't love somebody to healing or wholeness. They have to reconcile that energy themselves first. And maybe you could be a good friend and strictly a friend, perhaps, but even that could be a conflict. If it's someone that if you actually, have feelings for, and you would like to see something more come of it, in this season particularly, you gotta let people deal with what they got to deal with before they deal with you. It'll be best for everybody. Oh wait, what was on? Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, I'm gonna take the Page of Cups since that came out up top. And the Chariot card is what came out on the floor. Do I want to take that? No, I'll just take the one since I fairly didn't take it before. Yeah, and look at this with the Queen of Cups. And this is somebody making an offer, making a gesture of love, maybe a message, some term of endearment. But it's underdeveloped. It's perhaps a bit jaded in this case with the Page of Cups. With that fish in the cup, it's always questionable to me. And considering where you are and where you're headed, and the Queen of Cups energy that you may even occupy or embody, I should say, where you may have matured on account of your experiences and evolved in healing and self-care and self-love and on and on and on. This is an establishment of mastery in your emotional well-being, self-control, understanding, can effectively communicate your feelings, all that good stuff. And you wouldn't want, unless this is your child, you wouldn't want to put yourself in a position to accept an offer on this level where someone it will become codependent. It will more of a dependency even than a codependency, actually, where someone really is in need of some nurturing that may be out of your hands. Like, your love is strong as the Queen of Cups, but you wouldn't be able to really add value to this dynamic without making yourself a sacrifice. That's just what it is, quite honestly. With your best intentions, even if you're skilled and certified in counseling and therapy and everything else, and also your experience being a great teacher, it still wouldn't make the impact that would be a desirable outcome for you without being scathed in the process. Almost 100% guaranteed. Almost 100%. And honestly, somebody that, because there's nothing wrong with having emotional challenges. Hell, we all have at some point. It's that the person that there is two things. If the person that is having that challenge doesn't recognize that they need to, care for themselves first and foremost, then it kind of brings, without, involving you or implicating you in that process per se, then it does kind of raise the eyebrow a bit of their well-meaning for your good, because it kind of sends some red flags about maybe someone being a bit selfish and dependent if they know that they're in a rut in a particular way and they're not particularly emotionally available for what you deserve, and they're still willing to engage that encounter anyway. Usually someone that has, that means well, will reserve themselves for healing before they involve you. Because if someone really truly does have a heart to love you well, after loving themselves, they would want to do that first so that they wouldn't give you the raw end of the deal. So even that, and they may not necessarily say, I just want to, it may not come off like they're trying to be harmful for those that engage anyway, despite their challenges. But it's up to you, given the great track that you've made so far, to discern whether or not it's a risk worth taking. And I'm saying that most of the time it's not, because it's not. What you'll end up being is a bit of a crutch for whomever really needs to kind of find themselves on their own 2 feet emotionally, and you'll end up giving more of yourself than what someone is really willing to return, at least not purely. So it becomes unfair and imbalanced for two people, you know? So, I don't know. Yeah, here's that discerning right here, the Queen of Swords, and confirmation of what I'm saying. You know, you may have to make some head over heart decisions about your relational engagements. You know, maybe, especially if it is on account of you having multiple options and suitors and people, you know, fighting to rub your feet. Just joking. You know, you may need to put yourself in a position, even with the come from of the Queen of Cups, who loves to love and nurture and is compassionate and, you know, understanding and all those good things. You may have to put on your Queen of Swords hat and be a bit less emotionally attached and more objective. Doesn't mean you have to be calloused or heartless, mean or cruel. It's just about making the decisions that are going to keep you in this frequency that you've worked hard for. With the Six of Wands to the, you know, you worked hard to maintain, to achieve a position of the Six of Wands, first of all, and to be on a trajectory for more of that. You know, this is just more good in store for you with the Page of Wands. Like it could only get better at that point, and it's already good news. So you've worked too hard to cultivate a life of peace and pure passion and fun and independence and self-esteem and security and all of that good stuff that you've invested in yourself, to squander it on being too nice or being overtly empathic, you know, because you can see the potential in someone and you want to heal it because you know you can, and you probably can, but should you is the question. Is it fair for you to do that? Is there a guarantee of prosperity on the other end of that commitment? You're allowed to decide based on those specs, you know. You are allowed to do that. Yeah, with the Ten of Swords, no, it's the end of self-sabotaging, laying down and being somebody's doormat, betrayal after betrayal because you didn't follow your intuition, or you didn't even follow the logic of a situation to tell you either when to get out or when to not even start. You know, this is like when, after we've ignored 100 red flags, he literally is draped in red. You know, the first time they were no call, no show, or had an aggressive outburst, or ghosted you, or whatever the case may be, and you made an excuse, well, I understand, or you took an excuse or whatever. It's like, no, don't give too many chances to betray your true value in this season. We ain't got that time to spare, and we've learned too many lessons and had too many experiences to still be falling for, taking wooden nickels or falling for the brass ring, you know, like, You know better as the Queen of Swords. And hell, this can account for existing relationships too, because let's just call a spade a spade. Some relationships that were once upon a time projected to be happily ever after may have run their course, and that's the hard truth to confront and to accept. But as I said, it may not be a matter of implementing all of these little things that I'm saying to save something that really was never well aligned in the first place. If you're honest about it, you may be beating a dead horse. So there's that as well of making that tough decision of when it's time to really just part ways. Amicably at that. Yeah, and damn, the Chariot card came up in reverse. That's wild. When something just can't move forward, it's done. And it's seen like it's been through the ringer. This is like defeat here with the Chariot in reverse. Of course, the upside is looking forward to things that, well, the upside is having the willpower and the strength to discern and decide as necessary for your greatest good. Perhaps for the greatest good of all, if anything, but what you can absolutely control is for your greatest good. Unapologetically so as well, especially with the Page of Cups here. You know, it's like you can't be sorry for honoring your desires, you know, or honoring your standards. In reverse, like I said, it's like there is a lack of security here, something that has definitely, you know, run its course and run into the ground. And if you're looking at it in truth and clarity and seeing that, you know, there's really nothing here to be saved, the only thing left to do is to react, you know, on account of that, to initiate a new beginning otherwise. Damn, the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, like this is something that this, like I said, this is a wounded warrior. So this could be on account of trying to force something into submission or into productivity that just is not operable for either one or for anyone. Yeah, it's only going to cause more distress within that experience or even after, that you would have to, of course, then, you know, gain healing from, than to just kind of like see the handwriting on the wall as it is. Maybe even now, 'tis the season to make some major breaks and things that, or with things, people, places, and things that are not in divine alignment. There's nothing you can do to force that if it's just not true, especially after a certain time. We're talking about a great deal of time invested, maybe even implementing some of those like therapeutic tactics and exercises, or, you know, remedies, I guess, so to speak, and still nothing. It's like, so anyway. Wow. And that kind of flipped upside down. But let's see what's on the bottom before I take it as that, because it did a great somersault on its way. But that's a new beginning, yeah, but still balancing. This is like still trying to figure out what to choose, how to choose, where to go. Like, it may very well be a reversal here with the Fool card, when there's literally nothing left to expend energetically into a commitment, into a relationship, into a friendship, into a kinship, whatever it is, maybe into a job. I don't know, you know. It's like you may have gotten all that you can get out of it, and now you're putting yourself in a position, you're like forfeiting a new beginning when it's in reverse, right? From happening when all you have to do is make a decision, a sound decision, and that, and that already initiates the way forward. So I don't know who I'm talking to, it's clearly, it's a little bit of everything in terms of relationships though, like those that may be wanting a refresh, a redo, or may want out. You know, don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. I'm gonna keep it up, right? Because that's the hope and the faith that you know that you're entitled to that. When all else fails, like nobody is obligated to stay in a miserable situation. I don't care for what and for why. Not for the children, not for the finances, not for appearance's sake. Any of that stuff starts to become diabolical, you know, eventually when you're literally in a 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles energy every day. It's like you're literally killing yourself. For what is really the question. Like, why? Why would you do that? What is it about you that doesn't think you're worthy to have happiness? Yeah, equal give and take is the ideal here. Balanced partnership, balanced exchange. You give, I give. You grow, I grow. Yeah, and that being the intention, the plan on both sides, like it being a mutual intention between two parties. Not one feeling like they owe, like I was saying before, it's not the energy of, well, I'm the woman and I deserve this and this, and or I'm the man and I should be waiting on hand and foot. It's like there can be an establishment, you know, maybe that's what it is for you and your experience in the relationship and your relationship dynamic. But what truly does work for you though? And if that's it, then as long as all parties are in agreement with that, so be it. You're on the same page, you're following the same plan. But in the contention where one is being overserved and one is being underserved, or hell, maybe both are being underserved in some way, shape, or form, but this dynamic is more so the opposite. You really got to consider your choices there and reclaim your power thereof. That at any given time something is not up to par, you have the liberty to create change for yourself by way of multiple things, but certainly ultimately by releasing yourself or removing yourself. I don't like this vibe here, like 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, coming off of potentially a reversed Fool card, where nothing fresh is happening here. It's just the same old every day. But one person is benefiting way more than the other. That can't last long before somebody eventually like loses it. For real. All right, 2 more and then I'm out. Yeah, slow money. It slows down everything. Like I said earlier, like you can't manifest in that frequency. You can't do anything long lasting or productive. Or I should say productively long lasting. Because you may have a few wins here or there if you're ambitious enough or diligent enough, but it won't even be satisfying. It's like having hella money but still not wanting to come home to your partner at the end of the day. Or y'all both making hella money, but you don't even want to go on vacation with that person. You know, like the sheer thought of even a date night doesn't even arouse you. You know, like that's sad. Or you can't get through a date night or an intimate moment without some deterioration, whether it be an argument, a disagreement that you can't get past, or whatever. Like it's just, it couldn't be enough money in the world to maintain that frequency for me. Wow, the King of Swords. And here's for the Queen of Swords. I'm tempted to take them out, but I won't. I'll wait. It's just the energy of a partnership that is now on two different pages. Maybe even divorce is underway or impending, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, nobody wants that. I've never experienced it, so I can't speak to the emotional impact that it must have to experience that. However, I can speak to the emotional impact of having your peace of mind and your home be a sanctuary and your time be appreciated and valued, your energy, your presence, your intelligence be reverenced. There are certain things that are just non-negotiable in a healthy relationship that are just standard, as a matter of fact, on both sides. And with this being the King of Swords, and respect, did I say that? I don't think I did, but respect, ultimately. And there must be a reason why I'm saying that, but the King of Swords, the King of Queens, Queen of Swords, that's a funny show. The King of Swords, yeah, this could be a matter of partnership that is breaking up or needs to, where people might even still be cohabitating, but they're far from being on the same page. It's time to call it a wrap, or at least to separate and gain some personal insight and understanding of where you are and what you desire to have, whatever the case may be. So yeah, because everything's slowing down on account of being in somewhere and with someone that you don't want to be with. And it ain't never going to pick back up until you rectify that situation. One more. And do something about it. Exactly. Take your power back. Take your power back. Find your way back to your pure passion, your courage, your self-esteem. Like, love yourself, you know, at least honor yourself. Maybe not so much love with the King of Wands, but at least honor yourself. One thing the King of Wands is going to do is honor his energy. Confidently, courageously taking the necessary actions that will put them in a secure position. Fearlessly, unapologetically, to advance this prosperity here. That seems like it was on a track and now it's slowed down. Or it just has the potential to stay stagnant, or to stay slow for as long as someone doesn't take the steps that they need to take, that they get to take by their own choosing. Yeah, look at that. There's the increase there with the Ten of Pentacles. There's the increase. But you ain't getting there in this energy here. That ain't happening. As long as people are still depressed, hating each other, bitter, codependent, imbalanced, all types of stuff going on here, you name it. Not advancing, not secure. This could even be not even feeling safe with one another. Like, what? No way. And now I'm looking at it in the way that I am, fighting, Five of Wands. Like I said, can't get through a dinner without an argument. Nah. That's not what secures generational wealth holistically. Even if you got hella money, all of what I already said, it won't even matter. It won't even matter. Won't be nothing satisfying about it. Yeah, until you take that journey. Again, I was saying like self-reflection and discovery. And this could even be for long-standing, like people that have time and that have, assets entangled and children and property and bank accounts connected and houses and cars. And I get it. I get the idea of how hard it could be to consider other possibilities. But the Hermit card is going to examine all things and really make a sound, objective decision on what's best, what works best, what's most functional, what makes the most sense. Not particularly emotionally driven, but seeing the long view and the big picture, and also the details. And this is also an implication of like spiritual guidance too, to call in through that inner knowing, supreme direction, so that you can feel grounded with whatever it is that you decide, because you're doing it from a sound mind and from a sacred place. Yeah. But this is ultimately also the Hermit leading God lighting the path back to this prosperity where generational wealth and abundance can flourish fully, without inhibition and without, just purely. Yeah. Without compromise. Oh, well, that was interesting. Felt like it ended a little bit different than what it began. Maybe not when I watch back, but take it as you will, because this is, like I said, 'tis the season to really be vigilant about your decisions to merge your energies with anyone or anything in any place, and particularly given that Mercury is about to be in pre-shadow. I think on the 15th is when the pre-shadow begins for retrograde, and then it goes into retro the top of August. So, that's when those old flames come calling, or old connections resurface, either for you to bring closure, final closure to that connection, or to, whatever open wound or open ended exchange or connection that there may be, or question that there may be about it. But like I said, it could be 5 exes coming to plead their case, or to, with flowers and cards and candy in tow. It's still up to you to decide how you want to share your energy in this time, and to be quite clear in your decision making, because you are surely a catch. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, other people see it, and at this time, I'm sure you do too, about yourself, which is why you get to be the decider, the one that says, this is for me, or this isn't, or no one's for me, and I'm enjoying my single season. I'm enjoying my solitude. I'm enjoying exploring and seeing what the world has for me, or whatever the case may be. But you definitely don't owe anyone anything to surrender yourself over for the sake of love without any guarantees. Nope. So yeah, Mercury retrograde around the corner, and we got Saturn in retro teaching us all types of lessons, or really circling back around to see what we learned in previous seasons, to make sure we got it. Like, are you clear on all that you have already learned in this life, specifically about relationships, or you need another cycle of trial and tribulation? And it's a no for me, dog. Like, I don't need no more hard lessons about love. I'm only here for the rewards and benefits at this point in time. So anyway, that's just me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Till next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.